Yo, 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 what's going on, y'all? This is Marcus Rosa, aka Mazuma TV, back at y'all with another live for the night, man. I hope everybody's having a blessed, beautiful, positive, productive day. I'm just chilling at the crib right now, man. Just feeling extremely blessed, man. I got some great news. You know what I'm saying? Everything is just going well, so I'm extremely blessed. You know what I'm saying? Just came back from seeing my son not too long ago. You know what I mean? Everything is just on the up right now, man. Feeling extremely blessed as always, man. And I hope y'all doing the same. It's currently 11:04 where I'm at right now. I don't know what time it is over where you at, but nonetheless, I'm back at y'all with some more boxing talk. Shout out to everybody that's in the building. If you could hit the like button as soon as you come in, that'll be very much appreciated. You see what I'm saying? We got some things that we currently need to discuss currently going on in the boxing world, man. But before I get into that, we on the road to 3K, man. We on the road to 3K. We well into the 2K mark. Shout out to the nation in the mob for making this possible, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm still very elated. I'm very excited that we hit that 2K mark, man. It's been a long time coming. You feel what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody that's in the building. Stop Motion MMA. What's going on? What's going on? That's one of the guys for the nation, man. Shout out to Stop Motion MMA. We might have to add Stop Motion MMA to the group chat on Instagram, man. You know what I mean? Let me know. If you got some social media, man, I'll add you onto the group chat. You feel me? Yeah, man, we need to speak about Terence Crawford. My boy Slime, he said, blesses Mark. Shout out to Mazuma Nation. I'm smoking all haters and SP supporters. Hit the like on the way or suffer my wrath. You hear what the boy Slime said, man. He backing my play 1,000%, and I'm doing the same for him. You know what I'm saying? That's just how we give it up over here. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? So we got some things that we need to discuss. We need to talk about Terence Crawford continuing to apply pressure on the PBC and Canelo Alvarez. Most likely his next opponent, depending on what Canelo Alvarez decides to do next, man. We're going to get a few more people in the building. I'm assuming y'all got my video notifications, which is a beautiful thing because it's not often that YouTube sends out my notifications, you feel me? So I'm going to let more people get in here. You know what I'm saying? If you want to come through and speak your mind on the platform, you know what I'm saying? If I know you, I'm going to put the link right here. I'm going to put the link in the chat and we could discuss, man. So let's get it popping. Let's get it popping, man. You know what I'm saying? We don't need no ignorant motherfuckers on here. You feel what I mean? We here to discuss boxing. Need to be real and knowledgeable boxing talk. That's what we do at Mazuma TV. If you provided ignorance, bro, you just gonna get kicked. You're never gonna be allowed on the show again. So let's get it popping. You feel what I'm saying? Slime says Mazuma Nation, the realest. I appreciate that, my brother. And you a big part of the nation. One of the day ones. So you know what I mean? That's a reflection of you. So shout out to the boy Slime, man. I'm happy that you out and about doing your thing. And I hope that, you know what I mean, everything is well with you and your family. You know what I'm saying? I know you're a father as well. So, you know, Mazuma, the people's champ. Oh, that's a fact. That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? But let me get this information together because we definitely need to speak about this. You know what I'm saying? I actually need to log in. Let me try to log into my Twitter. You know what I'm saying? I actually got an account. Let me try to set this up real quick, y'all, because this is where I get a lot of my information that's currently going on with the boxing world. You feel what I mean? I know I got my passwords right here. Shout out to Michael Benson for keeping me informed of what's going on in the boxing world as well. You know what I mean? Next. Okay. All right. Let's see. What's going on? What the hell? What just happened? All right, cool. Twitter wild, by the way. I gotta be careful when I'm on here. If you know, you know. You feel me? Gotta be real careful when you on here. You know what I'm saying? Definitely can't go to the main page. You feel me? Shout out to Agent 007. What up? What up? Stop motion MMA says, I personally think Crawford is the second most hated fighter in boxing. I mean, that's not far-fetched. You know what I'm saying? I definitely be seeing a lot of Terence Crawford haters. Still to this day, they don't seem to give this man his credit. This man could show out over and over, accomplish feat after feat, show that he's definitely amongst the greatest of this era, and they still refuse to give him any type of credit. You know, it is what it is, man. We already know that, you know, fighters, black fighters, when they're at the top of their game, they're not really appreciated, but when they seem to walk away, that's when people seem to miss them. You know what I mean? I actually seen it with Floyd Mayweather, Muhammad Ali. A lot of people when they step away. I even seen a lot. I even seen people giving love to Wilder, which was crazy because I thought he was the most when he was at the top, bro. He was definitely the most hated. Like at his peak, he was the most hated fighter in boxing. And now that he's like not as active and you know he's not his last performance, he looked like a shell of himself. They were like, damn man, like we missed like the first round knockout Wilder and all this shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, y'all used to it's like y'all only appreciate motherfuckers when they gone. Yeah. A lot of people have trouble appreciating people in the moment. And I'm grateful that I don't have a problem with that. You know what I mean? I tend to appreciate people in the moment. You feel me? Slime says, appreciate it, brother. Blessings to you and your family, man. Likewise. Anonymous says, it looks like Crawford might actually get that 3-time undisputed at 154. That's exactly what we're about to get into, my brother. I appreciate you opening up the topic. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to J Cash. What up, J Cash? Anonymous. What's good? What's good? What's good? We got 18 people in the building. Hit the likes as soon as you come in, man. Hit the likes as soon as you come in. I think I only see 10 likes right now, man. Let's get them up. Let's get them up. Let's definitely get them up. You know what I mean? Yeah, they only appreciate them when they're not at the top. That's a fact. That's a fact, agent. That's a fact. You know what I mean? It's like they appreciate you on the climb up. Then once you reach the peak, then they switch up on you. And then when you on the decline, then they start reminiscing of how good you was. And you know what I'm saying? That's how boxing fans are nowadays. And I think it's even bigger. It's bigger than just boxing fans. I think it's just boxing fans. I think it's just sports fans overall. You feel what I'm saying? They see LeBron getting. I remember LeBron, he used to get so much hate. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I wasn't the biggest fan of LeBron neither. But you know, seeing that, you know, his son about to come into the league and him saying he don't know if he wants to be in the sport too much longer. Now everybody talking about who's gonna replace LeBron. I'm like, that shit crazy, bro. But anyway, that's basketball talk. Let's get into the boxing talk. You know what I mean? I'm gonna present my screen and we're gonna get into this information that Michael Benson has put out here for us to talk about. You know what I'm saying? For us to be informed about. Shout out to Sean Terence. What up? What up? So according to Michael Benson, it says Terence Crawford has now been made WBC welterweight champion in recess. Crawford is set to face Israel Madrimov for his WBA super welterweight world title on August 3rd. Now also WBC final eliminator to determine the mandatory challenger for Sebastian Fundora versus Errol Spence. You see what I mean? So I'm gonna break this down to y'all for those who don't really understand what's going on. It just seems like Terence Crawford isn't too enthused with vacating his titles at welterweight yet. I don't know exactly what's going on with that. In my mind, based off of how the way Terence Crawford has been moving with him just keeping the belts, it lets you know that there may be a possibility that he may go down to 147 if there's a fight that makes sense for him. It just seems like Terence Crawford is keeping his options open, in all honesty, because I was chopping it up with Anonymous, and he was telling me that, you know, he should have did like Devin Haney, and, you know, while he was in the process of fighting at a higher weight class, just vacate his belts. But it seems like Terence Crawford is holding on to him. He's not in no rush to give him up, which lets me know that he's just keeping his options open. You know what I'm saying? And he may possibly go back down to 47 if it makes sense. The only fight, in all honesty, that makes sense at welterweight is Jarrell Ennis. So maybe, just maybe, Turkey Al-Sheikh put something in that man's ear, pause. You know what I mean? Gave him some advice to just hold on to the belts, because if you were to face Jarrell Ennis after the Madrimov fight, it'll be for all the belts and may possibly put Terence Crawford in position to possibly be 3-time undisputed again. I don't know. That's just me speculating. That's the only reason that makes sense for me as to why he's holding on to the belts. Because if he just was moving forward and didn't plan on looking back at welterweight, he would have been gave up the belts. You feel what I mean? Just like he did at 140. He knew he wasn't going to go back to 140. He got rid of the belts right away, moved up, fought Jeff Horn. You feel what I mean? But at welterweight, he seems a little bit hesitant to chill, Slime, you drawing. So yeah, man. So That's the only reason why I could think that, he's holding on to the belts. But regardless, WBC has made Terence Crawford a champion at recess at welterweight. What does that mean? So for the meanwhile, he's going to be away. You know what I mean? He's away. It's like he's on vacation, right? He's on vacation from the welterweight division. But whenever he feels like it, you know what I mean? They're going to have somebody fight for the WBC title. So that may allow Mario Barrios to fight somebody for the WBC strap. That person will ultimately become the full status champion at the WBC at welterweight, and that can allow Terence Crawford to be like, all right, man, I'm back, so let's get it popping. That'll automatically put him in position to fight for the WBC title shortly afterwards. That's what that means in a sense. If he's not going back to welterweight, then that's completely meaningless, and I don't understand why he's doing this. So this just gives me the impression that he's leaving the window open. He's leaving the opportunity open to go back down to 47 if it makes sense, right? So as we know, Terence Crawford is going to be fighting August 3rd on Turki Al-Sheikh's card against Israel Madrimov for the WBA Super Welterweight World title, right? We know that. But not only is the WBA Super Welterweight World title on the line, I was also hearing that the WBO title might be on the line if they strip Sebastian Fundora, right? You know what I'm saying? Sebastian Fundora may relinquish his title if he fights Errol Spence, or he may be stripped of his title if he faces Errol Spence because he failed to face Terence Crawford next. You feel what I'm saying? So from what I understand, if they do that, then Terence Crawford could be in a situation with Israel Madrimov where the WBA title, Madrimov's title, will be on the line. The vacant WBO title will be on the line. And now, according to Michael Benson, they're saying that now also the WBC final eliminator to determine the mandatory challenger for Sebastian Fundora and Errol Spence will be on the line. So what does this mean? It's pretty simple. It's self-explanatory if you know how to read. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty much saying that, I'm sorry, I got caught up in the comments real quick, but just to let you know, whoever wins this fight may possibly be I know for sure it's going to be the WBA Super Welterweight World Champion, may possibly be the WBO Super Welterweight World Champion, and will be the mandatory for the winner of Sebastian Fundora versus Errol Spence. This is a beautiful move if Terence Crawford is capable of getting this done, man, because he's knocking out so many birds with one stone. You know what I mean? He's knocking out multiple things with just one fight. And that just lets you know how significant this fight is for Terence Crawford, because if he's able to get past Israel Madrimov, it could be an easy gateway into supremacy in the 154-pound division. Obviously he's still eyeing the Canelo Alvarez fight at 168, but in the meanwhile, while Canelo Alvarez seems to be caught up with the IBF mandatory and may possibly be facing Edgar Berlanga or whatever the fuck the situation is, Terence Crawford could set his focus, not wait around, and set his focus on the 154-pound division and hopes to becoming 3-time undisputed world champion. You know what I'm saying? Which has never been done before. I don't know if it's been done amongst women or anything like that, but I know in male boxing that has never been done. Terence Crawford was the first one in the 4-belt era to become 2-time undisputed, and he may very possibly be in the mix of becoming 3-time undisputed at 154. You know what I'm saying? I actually had made a video, I believe it was yesterday, about the possibility of Terence Crawford and Errol Spence meeting up again for unification at 154 pounds. You know what I'm saying? And it seems like the more the reports are coming out, it seems like the more likely it is. But this is only under the condition that Errol Spence defeats Sebastian Fundora. And all honesty, I think it's a winnable fight for Errol Spence, but we need to see what version of Errol Spence is there. Is he still the same? Is he going to have his legs underneath him? Is his punches going to be the same? Is his punch resistance going to be okay with all of the damage that he took against Terence Crawford? Because usually when you take that much punishment, you don't react to shots how you used to. You know what I'm saying? Just based off of some of the videos I've seen of Errol Spence working out, he still seems a little unsteady on his feet. And I don't know if that was just that fight, but, I also see him doing pad work with, other guys and stuff like that. And, like, his feet don't seem too settled, man. I don't know exactly what that is. But regardless, Sebastian Fundora is a tough fight. I'm not even going to lie to you, man. Like, I know we be clowning Fundora because he got knocked out by Mendoza. He's just a goofy-looking dude, but let's not get it wrong. He's a dog. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely a dog. And, Errol Spence can beat the dude. Let's not get it wrong. He could beat the dude, but I think he's going to have to go through some hell in order to beat the dude. You feel what I'm saying? If you understand what I mean. Agent 007, he said, is Crawford still messing with the IBF? Well, the last time he spoke about the IBF, he said, fuck the IBF, because he felt like he got did wrong with, you know, them stripping him and handing the belt over to Jarrell Ennis. But at the end of the day, the IBF don't play that shit. They have rules set, and they're not like the WBC where they flip-flop on their old rules in order to just keep a check coming in. You know what I'm saying? The reality of the situation was Jarrell Ennis became the mandatory, and he was promised by the IBF that he'll be facing the winner of Earl Spence, Terence Crawford, or whoever the hell ended up, you know, having the belt at the time. You see what I'm saying? The rematch clause is in place. It interfered with the IBF's ruling. So the IBF did. They stood by their rules. They stood on their square. It was like, all right, you know what I mean? You caught up in a rematch clause right now. You're not able to fulfill your obligations as IBF World Heavyweight Champion. So we're gonna have to take this belt off you. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. You know what I mean? Crawford feels a way about it, you know, because in all honesty, there's nothing he could have really done about it. You know what I'm saying? He had the rematch clause. He couldn't fight Jarrell Ennis if he wanted to. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it is what it is, man. You know, the IBF, they don't really play that shit. And we really see the IBF don't play this shit because now they're trying to force Canelo Alvarez's hand. And if you know Canelo Alvarez, you know that he don't really like listening to anybody telling him what to do. He like to move to the beat of his own drum. So when sanctioning bodies like the WBC try to get him to do certain things, he usually rebels against it. So I'm interested to see if Canelo Alvarez is going to listen to the IBF or he's going to vacate that IBF belt and do whatever the fuck he wants. You know what I'm saying? But we about to get into that topic shortly, man. Shout out to everybody that's in the building. Let's see. Marissa Alvarez says, my Wi-Fi is bad. Who do you have winning? Ortiz or Tszyu? Well, it's a great fight. You know what I mean? It's a great fight. Virgil Ortiz, I believe he's only had like 2 fights at 154 so far. But it hasn't ultimately been any like significant names, in all honesty, that's really been a concern. I think he fought Thomas Delorme. And then before that, I think his name was like Lawson or some shit like that, right? So, you know, they've been warming him up, just getting him acclimated to the 154-pound division because prior to that, he was supposed to face Stanionis. But due to multiple canceled fights, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he fought Frederick Lawson and then Thomas Delorme at 154 pounds. You know what I'm saying? So he's he's just getting settled into the division. But, you know, I could see both of these guys. You know what I mean? I can see both of these guys winning. You see what I mean? I can see because Virgil Ortiz is a very powerful puncher. You know, I know people that spar Virgil Ortiz and they all say the same shit. They say that boy could crack. He has great conditioning and he's aggressive, come forward. Him and Tszyu could possibly be a fight of the year candidate. I ain't even gonna lie to you. You know what I'm saying? So this dude, I think Virgil Ortiz to this day, I think he still has a 99. I think he still has a 100% knockout ratio. I'm not sure. Let me go back to check. I think he still has a 100% knockout ratio. I don't think that man has ever let the fight go into the judge's hands. You know what I'm saying? Yep, that's exactly what it is. He got a 100% knockout ratio, so that's not somebody to really play with. You know, however, Tszyu, I think in all honesty, he's the bigger dude. He's more acclimated to the weight class as a full-fledged 154-pounder, and he's a former world champion. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like Tszyu is going to pull it out, in all honesty. I think he has what it takes. However, if he gets into some exchanges with Virgil Ortiz, he may get hurt because Virgil Ortiz has crazy body shots. He hits extremely hard. You know what I'm saying? And this dude is a dog. You know, his gas tank don't really diminish as the rounds go on. From what I've seen from Virgil Ortiz at 147, maybe he'll be a little different at 154. He's relatively untested at 154, and Tszyu has been showing improving at 154, even despite his loss against Sebastian Fundora. You know, he faced a lot of adversity and still made it a competitive fight. You know what I'm saying? So I'm interested to see that fight. I do have Tszyu as the favorite, but I would not be surprised if Virgil Ortiz has some moments or, you know, he comes out successful against Tszyu. You know, this is going to be Virgil Ortiz's most meaningful fight of his career. The lights are going to be brighter than they've ever been. And we got to see if Virgil Ortiz is going to rise to the occasion. You know what I'm saying? So I think Tszyu going to win the fight. You know what I mean? I got him as the favorite. But, you know, I love the fight. I think that's a fucking barn burner. I think there's going to be a bunch of smoke in that ring. And that fight is not going 12 rounds. Anonymous says Virgil literally doesn't have a single round at 154. He ain't winning that fight. I mean, you know, that's a good point. But I'm speaking about from a stylistic standpoint, whether he had rounds in the bank or not. You know what I'm saying? Because he did stop Delorme in the first round. He stopped Lawson in the first round. But speaking from a stylistic standpoint, what I've seen from Virgil Ortiz, that man carries power. Early, mid, late rounds. You know what I'm saying? From what I understand, they said Virgil Ortiz spars every day in camp. You know what I'm saying? You know, they say he spar every day in camp, so he's gonna be in tip-top shape. You know what I'm saying? His hands gonna be sharp. He's not gonna be rusty at all. And I'm not gonna sit here and deny the fact that Virgil Ortiz could crack. You know what I'm saying? And in all honesty, I don't know if Tszyu's ever been in there with a big puncher like Virgil Ortiz. We just gonna have to wait and see. I do think that according to Boxrec, Virgil Ortiz is #1 in the world at 154 pounds. How the fuck is that even possible? Bro, Boxrec's ranking system is absolutely trash, bro. They need to really fix that. How the fuck is Virgil Ortiz #1 in the world at 154 pounds when he's only had 2 fights there and never won a world title? This shit is crazy, bro. He's ahead of Fundora, who's unified world champion. He's ahead of Tszyu. He's ahead of Madrimov, who's WBA welterweight champion of the world. Jamel Charlo, who was reigning at 154 for years, who was former undisputed champion. Sergey Bohachuk. Mortazaliev, who's the IBF champion. Erickson Lubin. Jesus Ramos. Bro, are you fucking serious, bro? Bro, I swear, bro. Boxrecs, yo, they're terrible, bro. I didn't even notice that until I just looked. This dude is ranked #1. You know what I mean? Yeah, he do got hands of stone, but yeah, I do have Tszyu being the favorite. You know what I'm saying? I do have him being the favorite. I think he's more battle tested. You know what I mean? I think he's the bigger man. You know what I mean? So I think that's enough for me to see. And it's run by a computer system. Yeah, I understand it's run by a computer system, but obviously that computer system don't know what the fuck it's doing. So I would suggest that, it's cool to have a computer system, for all that, but it needs to be checked by humans. You know what I'm saying? So anything man-made makes mistakes. You know what I mean? And obviously that system is trash, and they definitely need to make some adjustments. You feel what I mean? Hold on. I had somebody else ask me a question. You know what I mean? Marissa Alvarez with another question says, Rayo Venezuela versus Pitbull Cruz. Who do you have winning? I got Pitbull pulling that one out. You know what I'm saying? I think that Pitbull is more defensively responsible than Rayo. And we seen Rayo getting exchanges with big punches and, shit not really going his favor. Most noted, the one I was really speaking about is Edwin De Los Santos. You know what I'm saying? His chin can get cracked. He can get hurt. And, he's there to be hit. You know what I mean? The Pitbull Cruz, I trust his defense a little bit more. I would love to see Isaac Cruz utilize his jab a little bit more so he could have more success closing the gap and shit like that. But regardless, I don't see Rayo Venezuela as that superior of a boxer to Pitbull Cruz. I think he is who he is. I think he's a big puncher. He likes to come forward and assert his aggressiveness as well. And I just think that that'll be tailor-made for somebody like Isaac Cruz. I could see Isaac Cruz hurting him with a hook. I could see him dropping Rayo Venezuela. But that fight's not going 12 rounds neither, man. Turkey Al-Sheikh did his thing with the matchmaking on that August 3rd card. Like Terence Crawford versus Israel Madrimov. Rayo Venezuela versus Pitbull Cruz. Jarrell Miller versus Andy Cruz. Not Andy Cruz. Jarrell Miller versus Andy Ruiz. Andy Cruz versus Antonio Moran. And there was another Tszyu versus Virgil Ortiz, bro. Fucking bangers, bro. Like that, bro. Ain't no way I'm missing. Ain't nothing that could be going on in this world that'll make me miss that card, bro. For sure. Auntie Slayer says, gotta ask about Raymond Ford and Nick Ball. Who do you have? I got Raymond Ford. You know what I'm saying? I seen the face-off, man. He has a significant size advantage. You know what I'm saying? However, I got Ford. Nick Ball, he might present some, obstacles for Raymond Ford, but it is what it is, man. One last question, and I'm rocking with Raymond Ford because you know he right by Philadelphia, man. He from Camden, New Jersey. That's only a 10-minute drive from where I currently am. So, you know, shout out to Raymond Ford, man. We love him over here in Philadelphia. So you know I'm rocking with him all the way. I gotta watch Nick Ball a little bit more to really assess and give you a detailed breakdown for sure. This nigga said I wish Turkey was my dad. That's crazy. Yeah, Raymond Ford could fight his ass off. I fuck with Raymond Ford. Shout out to Marissa Alvarez with the great questions though. You know what I mean? Those type of questions, you know what I mean? They should come with a super chat. You know what I mean? But it is what it is, man. You know, I'm just showing love to the nation. You feel me? Let me see what's up. Let me see what's up. What was the one question? I just seen it. Damn, somebody was just asking about. Oh no, it's actually right in front of me. Shit, I'm slipping. Uh, One last question: do you have Andy Ruiz winning? That's a tough fight. You know what I mean? I think that's a tough fight for Andy Ruiz, but you know the fact that Jarrell Miller is a come forward pressure fighter, that you know he's a high volume puncher that could leave a lot of opportunities for Andy Ruiz to counter. You know what I mean? Hit him with some good combinations and shit like that. But Jarrell Miller, you know, even though he got stopped by Daniel Dubois, man, it was a lot of punishment. You know what I mean? That led to that stoppage. He has a pretty durable chin. And I think that, and I still say this to this day, that if Jarrell Miller had enough time to prepare, if he was in shape, how he usually is, I think that he would have beat. I think he would have beat Daniel Dubois. Man, it seemed like Daniel Dubois was getting discouraged at certain points with that fight. It seemed like Jarrell Miller had momentum, but the difference was, you know, once Jarrell Miller got tired, he was done. But when Daniel Dubois got tired, he caught his second win and was able to finish him. You know what I mean? So it was just a lack of preparation on Jarrell Miller's part, in my opinion. However, I think that Andy Ruiz is a totally different monster. He got fast hands, good combination puncher. He could box. You know what I mean? He got dog. You know what I mean? He likes to bring the fight. He got pretty good conditioning as well, despite his physique and how the way he looks. He's in pretty good shape. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's pretty much what it is, man. I think Andy Ruiz can beat him. I think his inactivity might play a part in this fight. However, I think as the rounds go on, I think he'll shake that rust off and start to fight his fight. You know what I mean? But, you know, let's not act like Andy Ruiz hasn't had tough fights even when he was active. You know, I thought that fight with Chris Arreola was pretty close. You know what I'm saying? I thought the fight with Luis Ortiz was quite competitive, even though as an older Luis Ortiz on the decline. You know what I mean? I think the prime Luis Ortiz that fought like Brian Jennings in the first Wilder fight and shit like that. I think I think he would have beat that version of Andy Ruiz that night. You feel what I mean? But I think Andy Ruiz could pull it off. But if he's not himself, he might have a tough fight with Jarrell Miller. And this is the thing with Jarrell Miller. He might have a fire lit under his ass from this last situation. That was his first professional loss in his career. So he might be looking for some revenge. You know what I'm saying? So Andy Ruiz got to be in his bag. He got to be ready for every scenario possible. He's shown to rise to the occasion when he's hit the canvas. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, it's a good fight. It's a good fight. Stop motion MMA says Daniel Dubois gives up when shit hits the fan. I thought Miller had it in the bag. Me too, but you know, I did notice that Jarrell Miller was a lot heavier. You know, he usually like be in the low 300s. I forgot how heavy he was against Daniel Dubois, but I do remember his weight was a little concerning in my head. I remember being like alarmed by it. And I was under the impression that he was underprepared. And come to find out, it showed in the ring he was underprepared. I do think that if he was in top shape, how he usually is, you know, without the PEDs, all that shit, obviously, I think that he could have wore down Dubois and probably stopped him. You know what I'm saying? Because he had the chin. He had the chin to, you know, pause, to absorb the punishment from Daniel Dubois. However, he didn't have the gas tank to, you know, continue swimming. He drowned in there. Yeah, Big Baby was 300 plus. I think he was in the 320s for real, for real. I could check it out right now for you guys. But yeah, and you know, I seen that, you know, I know this is a little bit irrelevant, but I seen that he was also getting into legal trouble. He was 333. He was 333, bro. He's got as high as 341, bro. That's crazy. But like some of the good performances I've seen from him, like Gerald Washington and shit like that. He was in the high, he was like in the 295s to 300 pounds. I think that's a good way for him to compete at. But I think that once he gets past the 310s and shit like that, that's when it starts to become unimpressive, in my opinion. You feel what I'm saying? Good weight for Jarrell Miller, in my opinion, is high 200s, low 300s. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. He was 333 for Daniel Dubois, completely out of shape. So he need to get back in shape. He need to cut some weight. He need to lay off them cheeseburgers and get in his duffel. You feel me? Because he's a big fan of cheeseburgers based off of the interviews I've been seeing from him. Yeah, I think he lost because he drowned. He drowned, Ralph. That's exactly what happened. You know what I mean? But he can't blame nobody but himself because boxing, there ain't no off season in boxing. It's year round. So you gotta stay ready. Like, I know this is a cliche type John, but you know, you gotta stay ready so you don't have to get ready. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Andy Ruiz is a great example of that. He stood ready, so he had to get ready. You know, he stood ready. He got the call for the Anthony Joshua fight, and he did his thing. You feel me? So, you know, that's just a prime example of that. Maybe if the Jarrell Miller stood in shape, he probably could have came out. He could have came out victorious. Let me see. Do I know Floyd Schofield? And if so, what do I think about him? I'm familiar with Floyd Schofield. I've seen a couple of his fights. I'm not too big on Floyd Schofield. I ain't gonna hold you. You know what I mean? I think he got a lot of potential. You know, he's with Golden Boy and shit like that. So I hope they keep building him properly. But I don't know. Like I think that I think he could make some money in the sport and shit like that. But I don't know. I don't rank him. I don't really rank him as like, I don't know. I just don't look at him like how I look at the other top prospects. Like, I don't rate him as much as I rate like an Abdullah Mason or a Bruce Carrington, anything like that. You know, I don't think that he's near a Keyshawn Davis's level, in my opinion. You know, I don't know. I think he has to prove a little bit more to me. You know what I mean? I haven't really seen anything too impressive about him. I seen that he had gotten like a quick stoppage in one of his last fights, but you know, I think he got to show me a little bit more. You know, I'm not like on the bandwagon yet. You know what I mean? So that's my overall opinion about him. You said I want to see Andy Cruz versus De Los Santos. Whew, that would be a banger, but I got Cruz by stoppage. I definitely know for a fact that Eddie Hearn would do that. You know, I think he has a lot of faith in Andy Cruz. They've been fast tracking him, and bro, every fight he seems to be getting better. You know what I mean? De Los Santos is a threat, though. You know, so I don't know if they'll put him in right away, but I do think that I got a strong suspicion that I think Eddie Hearn will roll the dice on that. I think that he believes this fighter could beat him. You know what I mean? Ralph said, I hope I'm wrong, but I feel like Andy Ruiz is going to have another underwhelming performance. He has been given constant underwhelming performances ever since the win over AJ. Yeah, I agree with you. Like I said, the Areola fight was underwhelming. And I also believe that, the fight with Luis Ortiz was underwhelming as well. You know, I know he got knockdowns and shit like that, but regardless, it didn't seem like the Andy Ruiz that I watched come up, prior to the Anthony Joshua fight and the first Anthony Joshua fight. I don't know. Bro. I don't know if he don't train as hard as he used to. I don't know if he's satisfied because of all the money that he done made. I don't know what the situation is, but regardless, I hope that he rises to the occasion against Jarrell Miller because that's a tough fight. If Jarrell Miller's in his bag, I've seen that he been having some like legal issues, so I hope Jarrell Miller's focused because if not, he might get washed by that boy Andy. You feel me? Yeah, I seen that he's fighting Ashton. I think that's a good fight. I think that's Golden Boy must obviously believe in Schofield a lot if they put him in there with another young hungry lion. You know what I mean? But if he was able to come out victorious against H2O, then it'll be a good name on the resume in the build up to him becoming a contender. You feel me? It says Iron Mike Tyson was hospitalized today. Yeah, I saw that. Apparently he had like some type of ulcer or some shit like that. And he wasn't feeling too well. And Jake Paul should be embarrassed of himself, man. Like seriously, like come on, man. You about to fight a man who literally let's get into this right here. You know, we seen Mike Tyson in wheelchairs. We seen him with canes and all that shit, bro. Let me share the screen right here to break it down exactly what happened with Mike. You feel what I mean? But hit the like button as soon as you come in, man. You know what I'm saying? Hit the like button as soon as you come in if you appreciating the conversation, if you appreciating the content. You see what I mean? This is a report from Michael Benson. It says, Mike Tyson had a medical incident on a flight from Miami to LA on Sunday as he became nauseous and dizzy due to an ulcer flare-up 30 minutes before landing. Thankfully, he is now doing great. His representatives have confirmed in a statement today. This is according to the New York Post. You see what I mean? So this is a valid source. And if he's having an ulcer flare-up, I'm gonna tell you guys something. I know all about that because I have something called ulcerative colitis. I have a chronic illness, which is why I had to stop boxing. You see what I mean? And you know, ulcers are no joke. And the fact that he's actually getting ulcers, you know, he's having flare-ups with his ulcers. You know, that's very concerning. You know what I mean? Because if you having some type of flare, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna give you guys some information. You know, I'm not gonna give you too much. I'm not gonna give you too much details. But literally, ulcers. I don't know where the ulcers are. I don't know if he has stomach ulcers. I don't know if he has ulcers in the colon. I don't know exactly what it is. But they're literally ulcers are literally like bumps that bleed. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, if they're flared up, you know, it could really affect your bathroom habits. You know, it could really cause, if you're losing blood, obviously, it could affect your iron levels. I had low iron deficiency anemia for years. You know what I'm saying? Mike Tyson, with him being at this older age, he can't afford to lose any blood, bro. He can't afford to lose any hemoglobin. He can't afford to lose any oxygen flowing through his system, point blank, period. You see what I mean? Especially going up against a young, hard punching dude like Jake Paul. You feel what I mean? This man is having medical emergencies. We've seen this man getting rolled around, escorted in a wheelchair. We've seen this man walk around with a cane at UFC events. And all of a sudden, we see this motherfucker hit pads with Rafael Cordero or whatever the fuck his name is. And they're like, oh, yeah, he's going to knock Jake Paul's head off, man. Oh, bro, this man is literally showing you his age each and every time he steps outside. But for some reason, y'all think that he's going to have a competitive fight with Jake Paul. I'm trying to tell you guys, when Mike Tyson gets hurt in there, because Jake Paul is going to try to hurt him for sure. Like, ain't no doubt about it. Y'all going to be like, oh, man, why would Mike do that? Why would he step in the ring? Bro, this is your fault. And I'm not talking about the nation, of course. You know, we knowledgeable people. We know what's going on. We know, you know, it's some bullshit that's going on. Jake Paul is getting away with what he typically gets away with, fighting older dudes. You know, at first he was fighting athletes who never threw a punch in their life. Then he's fighting overtired UFC fighters or UFC fighters that's on the decline. Now he's fighting old legends in the sport of boxing. And even prior to that, he was fighting bum-ass fighters with blowing up records. You feel what I'm saying? So this man is literally milking the game because he's able to. You know, boxing is one of the sports where you can literally get away with anything. It's one of the most corrupt sports around. You know what I'm saying? Jake Paul seen a loophole in the system and he went and he exploited it. And now everybody, you know, and they keep eating out of that man's hands, bro. Mike's gonna kill that dude. Yeah, man. You know, Jake Paul's not ready for Mike. I don't care how old he is. He can't beat Mike. Okay. Because from what I've been hearing, even back when he was doing the exhibition with Roy Jones, they said Mike Tyson was getting his ass whooped in sparring sessions by bums, like young up-and-coming dudes. I'm not even gonna call them bums, just young up-and-coming dudes who literally nobodies punching on Mike Tyson. You see what I mean? I think Mike Tyson even admitted it in interviews, and this was like 5-6 years ago, bro. And you mean to tell me that he's still like on a level where he could deal with a punch? Because Jake Paul could punch. I've seen this dude concuss people with one punch multiple times. This dude has power, bro. You know what I'm saying? They think that he's gonna be able to take a shot from Jake Paul. That shit is crazy. You know, Mike Tyson gonna be looking to do one of them crazy angles. He gonna run into a shot. He's gonna get hit clean, and his body's not gonna respond appropriately. He's not gonna respond appropriately. Y'all motherfuckers keep thinking that Mike Tyson is who he is back when he was in his 20s, youngest heavyweight world champion. No, bro. There's a lot of things that change as your life goes on. You see what I'm saying? Once you hit them late 30s, man, your reflexes slow down. Your speed not the same. Okay, you might have some power. You might still have the coordination. You know, you don't lose the skill set. It's like riding a bike. you know, when you fighting at elite level, bro, you know, it's not hard to, you know, still keep your technique, but in terms of your reflexes, your punch resistance, you know, your foot speed, your hand speed, all of that changed drastically. You could see the shot coming. You know what I mean? Your mind can tell you to do something, but your body might not be cooperating with you. You see what I mean? I've heard stories from people where they said like, yo, like I could see the punch coming and I'm telling my brain to react, but my body's not keeping up with my brain. And this was dudes who was in their 40s. Mike Tyson is what, 58 years old, bro? 56 years old. Jake Paul's like what, 27 years old, bro? Like these are things that we really got to take into consideration, man. Mike Tyson is no superhero. I understand he's a legend. I understand he's one of the most feared fighters to ever box. These are things that I do know. I'm not disregarding that at all. Like we know Mike, bro. Like we know Mike. As a matter of fact, let me see something real quick. Look at this. We love Mike, man. Let's not get it wrong. We love Mike. But that Mike that we see on that t-shirt is not the Mike that we see right now. And that's just the reality of the situation, man. But these dudes, bro, these boxing fans are so easy to manipulate. They so easy to control. They so gullible, bro. Jake Paul about to make a fucking name off knocking out Mike Tyson, hurting Mike Tyson, beating up on Mike Tyson, whatever the situation is. Because I got a strong belief that he's gonna end up stopping Mike. You know, I hope, and this is the thing. There's like, oh, you know, he might just beat Jake. Shit, I hope he do. I hope he do so I can laugh. I hope he do so I can laugh, bro. I really want to clown Jake Paul. I want to see Mike old ass knock Jake Paul young ass out. I hope he beat his ass, whatever the situation is. But I got to keep it real with y'all, bro. I got to keep it real with y'all. This boy Jake Paul done been in the gym since he started boxing. Mike Tyson been smoking weed, you know, fucking with shrooms, and you know, he not worried about boxing. He took the opportunity because it was a substantial amount of money that he could not refuse. Just keep it 1,000. I'm not saying Mike broke, but you know, if you put a couple zeros and a couple commas in the mix, you know, you might entice a motherfucker to do some shit that they wouldn't typically do. That's just the facts. You know what I'm saying? So that's just what it is, man. Like, and it's sad. This dude over here having medical emergencies. This man is being escorted around places in a wheelchair. He's telling you that them training sessions hard and he be sore. He have to lay in bed for 3 days. This is the man that y'all think is gonna be the young Jake Paul. Jake Paul don't do no drug testing. Lord knows what the fuck he doing. Probably juice into the fucking gills, getting ready to knock Mike Block the fuck off. And don't nobody care because they still believe somehow, some way that there's a fucking miracle that's gonna happen that Mike Tyson gonna knock him out. And Islam, look, he said, look, you know, I'm not even gonna put that on the screen, but you know, if y'all see the chat, you know, he's naming multiple drugs that Mike done got into. We just naming soft drugs that he fucking with right now. We're not talking about the hard drugs that he did throughout his life. That should have catch up fucking with a young dude like Jake Paul. I'm telling you. Boxing exposed all the BS that you want. If you old and you watch, it's gonna show. You know what I'm saying? But you know, they see Mike hit some pads where the dude, and this I'm gonna keep it 1,000, bro. I'm gonna keep it 1,000. Do I have my duffel bag here? Let me check to see if I got my duffel bag here. Hold up. Real quick. Let me check real quick. So look, right? So look, these are paddles, right? Shout out to Winning. They got the best boxing equipment in the world. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. I got sticks for defense. I got the paddles for offense because you know I've been training people so long that I can't really use regular mitts against hard punches because they hurt my hands. You know, I've had multiple hand injuries, wrist injuries, and shit like that. So I try to preserve my hands to the best of my ability. And shout out to Bozy because Bozy, the one that put me on and said that paddles really preserve your body. So shout out to Bozy and shout out to Boots and his father for giving me some great advice. But I'm showing you this just because, you know what I'm saying? Like when the dude is holding mitts for Mike Tyson, bro, right? Mike Tyson will go boom, boom. He'll let some shots go. And to make it look good, the dude is throwing shots in the midst of Mike Tyson getting his offense off. So Mike Tyson is going from offense to defense, offense to defense. He'll go boom, 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 slip, slip, boom, boom, boom. And the whole time, you know what I mean, it's making it look like Mike Tyson is just responding all crazy. Bro, what y'all not really noticing when you watch these videos is that this man is throwing punches all the way over the head. All the way over the head. So, you know what I mean? If the like, it's gonna look good. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. It's choreographed. You know what I mean? Now, if he was actually throwing it on the level of Mike Tyson, I don't know if Mike Tyson would have the reaction time to necessarily get underneath it. But when you going boom, 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 and then you shooting a shot all the way over, it's gonna give Mike enough time to get underneath because it's not gonna hit him any fucking way. You feel me? So, like, that's just the shit that I noticed as a boxing coach. But you know, like I said, people just gonna keep eating out of these motherfuckers' hands. You know what I mean? And it's sad that Mike Tyson, one of the most iconic figures in the sport of boxing, one of the biggest legends to ever step in a boxing ring, one of the most accomplished motherfuckers, one of the most successful fighters of all time. The last image that we're gonna see of him is him getting knocked out by a content creator, Disney star, you know, whatever the hell you want to call him. You know what I'm saying? Social media boxer. You know, it's sad that that might be the last image that we see of Mike. I hope it don't happen, but I think it's more likely than not. And I'll be sitting here doing a live fight reaction saying, I told y'all. Anybody could look good with pads, bro. I'm telling you, anybody could look good doing pad work. You feel me? I could take a dude who I'm gonna tell y'all a story, right? Because you know I've been in boxing for well over a decade, right? I've been training people since 2017. I started training people around 2017, right after I got out of high school. So it's about to be I've been coaching people for 8 years. 8 years now. But I've been in the boxing game way longer than that, right? So we was out in Jersey. We was out in like Long Branch, New Jersey. That's probably like not too far from New York type shit. Central New Jersey, North Jersey possibly. But regardless, we were fighting this dude, right? I forgot his name, man. I'm sorry. I should have mentioned his name because, you know, he's still a sturdy dude at the end of the day. But we was going up against him, right? And we was in a small gym. So it's like, you know, we obviously want privacy, so they don't really see what we working on, what we doing our warm-ups with the pads and shit like that. But we were literally all in a big, like, empty space, you know, and motherfuckers just had to warm up in front of each other. So they watching us, we watching them type shit. And I ain't gonna lie to you, you know what I'm saying? If I didn't have the experience, I probably would have been concerned as well because the dude that we were facing, this dude looked brilliant on the pads, bro. This dude looked like how the way Carmel, Moten, and all the motherfuckers, Andrew Tabiti, but like they doing that Floyd Senior pad work where it's like boom, 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 do like 100 jabs at the end type shit. And there's the people with us. I had a young boy with me and shit. I ain't gonna say his name, but he was like, yo, man, little nigga look sharp. You know what I mean? Like, not doubting us, but like he just giving us a warning, like, yo, dude, look like he the truth. And I'm like, all that shit look good on the pads, bro. You know, like I'm not one of them dudes who be really I don't buy too much into that. You know what I mean? Because when you doing them 30 punch combinations on these motherfuckers right here, you know, that's not going to really translate into the ring because who the fuck is going to let you throw 30 punches at them and just stand there and just absorb the punishment? You know what I'm saying? Who going to let you throw 2-3-2, pull, 2-3-2, roll in the knee, uppercut, throw 4 uppercuts, block, 1, 2, 3, blah, blah, blah. Like, niggas not going to let you do that, bro. That's just not how boxing works. So I don't buy into that, bro. It's like, I remember the one time, because, you know, how the way people use speed bags nowadays, they equate you being able to use a speed bag the same as you being able to fight, which I don't really understand because when you hitting a speed bag, you literally going like this. How the fuck does that translate into you boxing? What does that have to do with you being knowing how to rumble? Because you're not boxing a motherfucker and you going like this. Nah, you gotta snap your punches out. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Like there's people that's so like ignorant towards the sport of boxing. They see you do one thing and they just equate that to you knowing how to fight. I remember the one time we do some shit in Philly called burnouts, where like after we do our workouts and stuff like that, we try to build up the shoulder strength. You know what I'm saying? Because your shoulder strength has a lot to do with you being able to keep your hands up. You feel what I mean? I don't know if you guys ever sparred, you ever worked, you ever did any type of boxing before, but if you keep your hands up long enough, you start to feel that shit in your shoulders. You see what I'm saying? But when you do burnouts, it builds up the strength in your shoulders. So when you have your hands up, you don't feel the fatigue that comes from your shoulders from holding your hands up. So I'm doing the burnouts, and you literally just like punching in a circle like this. If you do this shit long enough, you're gonna feel that shit in your shoulders, right? So there was this dude watching. I guess he was like looking to get a membership and shit like that. He had his son with him. He was like, yo, son, take a look at that. And I was just minding my business, bro. Just boom, 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 right? So I finished the John. I come back. I start taking my shit off. He was like, yo, you's a bad motherfucker, bro. Yo, man, like I never seen nobody hit the speed bag like that, bro. Like, yo, man, can you teach my son something? I said, bro, that's not difficult to do. And that has literally nothing to do with boxing. It's just an exercise to keep, you know what I mean? So I'm breaking it down to him. And he like, nah, man, like, man, you just being humble, man. I'm like, wow. It don't really take much to impress motherfuckers nowadays, bro. So long story short, the dude doing the pad work, all that shit. Listen, man, you already know what we did to him. And he ain't fight nothing like how he was fighting. Ain't fighting nothing like how he was fighting. You feel me? That 20 punch combination shit that he was doing on the pads, looking like a superstar and all that shit. Once he got in the ring, that shit was like, boom, 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 boom. Like, you already know how that shit go, bro. Like, it's just, I don't really buy into none of that. So when I see Mike Tyson doing this, like, I know who Mike is. He was a fucking monster, like one of the greatest ever boxed. But, this man is in his late 50s now, man. Stop buying into the bullshit and think because you're seeing this man hit some pads that, he back and he hasn't lost a step. Why don't Mike Tyson and his team show some of his sparring sessions? How about that? Show me knocking off some sparring sessions. Knocking off some sparring partners. Let's see if you look all right. Because when I seen you fight Roy, I wasn't impressed either. Mike, he was letting Roy all tie him up, and he throwing all these big-ass punches, and he missing by a mile. And, Roy Jones watched, too. It looked like two uncles beefing at a barbecue, my nigga. Like, it looked like two uncles that used to box back in the day, mixing it up at a family reunion. That's what it looked like. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it looked like to me. So, it is what it is, man. People not going to listen to nothing I'm talking about, but y'all going to feel what I'm talking about after that fight with Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, man. We just going to leave it like that. You feel what I mean? So, to get back to the conversation, man, yeah, Terence Crawford applying pressure on the PBC. You feel what I mean? He's staying on the Sebastian Fundora situation. He not letting Sebastian Fundora get up out of the mix too easily. You know what I mean? He put in the petition to be the WBO mandatory once he moved up in weight. WBO granted him that opportunity. Sebastian Fundora wins. They talking about he can't fight till October, November. Then all of a sudden he goes behind Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford and them already know what it is, so he solidifies a fight day with Madrimov. You know what I mean? They already know they about to get that opportunity to Spence. Now he about to fight Spence in October. So he like, all right, no, I ain't forget about you. So let's put this shit in play. What doesn't change is that he's still next up for the WBO title, right? So, since Sebastian Fundora going to fight Errol Spence, it might be a strong possibility that he might have to give up that WBO strap. And him and Spence, Fundora and Spence will strictly fight for the WBC, right? However, it seems like that same fight that Terence Crawford is taking may be we know for sure it's going to be for the WBA. It's going to be for the WBO. Might possibly be for the WBO if Sebastian Fundora, isn't able to get out of that situation. He might have to get stripped or relinquish his title. So it might be for 2 belts, and it'll be for the WBC final eliminator. You know what I'm saying? So he's going to have 2 belts, and if he beats Madrimov, he'll be in line to face the winner of Errol Spence and Sebastian Fundora. Beautiful move. Beautiful move. He continues to apply pressure on the PBC. You know what I'm saying? The PBC don't want to do business with Bud. They never wanted to do business with Bud because Bud is infamous for fucking up PBC fighters. He's infamous for fucking up their investment, bro. I told you guys. PBC, Showtime at the time, Steven Espinoza and them, they wanted Errol Spence to fight Keith Thurman. They did not want to rumble Terence Crawford. They labeled Terence Crawford as somebody who was hard to do business with. They labeled him as somebody who, was asking for too much, requesting for too much. The whole time, he just want to get what he's worth out of the situation. You know what I'm saying? Earl Spencer's understanding of that. He wants the opportunity just as bad as Bud. He allows Bud to get everything he's requested. I remember Steven Espinoza talking about he was throwing laptops and all types of shit. It's like, bro, you really was so hell-bent on not fighting Terence Crawford. Y'all was so hell-bent on not paying that man he was worth that. You over here tossing laptops and shit. Like, do y'all hate Bud that much? Do y'all just want to avoid Bud at all costs that much? Like, you just got to listen to what they be saying, bro. Like, it's just sad how they try to go around them. But, Terence Crawford is using the weapons necessary within these sanctioning bodies in order to get what they want. Because, it's going to make Terence Crawford look good at the end of the day. It's either you going to shit or you going to get off the pot. Shit or get off the pot. Fight me or give up them fucking belts. And you just going to look like a bitch at the end of the day. And I'm going to just shit on y'all parade. I'm going to take y'all belts and I'm going to go about my day. You feel what I'm saying? A lot of these dudes got pride. They're not willing to do that. So they might be backed into a wall where, all right, I'm going to have to fight Bud. I didn't want to fight him, but now I'm going to have to fight him because if I don't fight him, I'm going to look like I'm ducking him and I don't want to live with that reputation as a duck. It seemed like the only motherfucker that will really take on the challenge at PBC to fight Bud is Earl. You already seen what he did to Earl. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Equip FC. He says, yo, Mazuma Nation, let's go 3K. That's a fact. Appreciate that, my brother. Thank you. So we spoke on this situation, man. I hope Terence Crawford continues to apply pressure on the PBC. I hope he gets all the big fights that he wants. You know what I'm saying? And if he crashes along the way to become a 3-time undisputed, then I still salute him for taking the chance regardless. You feel what I mean? If he comes up short against Majumov, I'm going to salute him because he took the chances, to become great in the sport. He's already accomplished a lot. You know what I mean? If he comes up a 4-division world champion, that's excellent. He'll be amongst some great company. You know what I mean? A lot of them first ballot Hall of Famers. You know what I mean? He'll be amongst Mikey Garcia. He'll be amongst Canelo Alvarez. He'll be amongst Adrian Broner. He'll be amongst all the other dudes that dominated 4 weight classes and above. Floyd Mayweather, Oscar De La Hoya, the list goes on. Manny Pacquiao, the list goes on and on. You feel what I mean? So, yeah, that's pretty much what it is, man. Salute the Buzz, salute the Bomac. I'm looking to bring Bomac on the channel soon. I chopped it up with Carmel. I wasn't able to get him available on Saturday. I'm gonna hit him up again. You know what I mean? See if we can lock some in sometime soon. You feel what I mean? But let's get into Canelo Alvarez before I get up out of here, man, because I've been on here 57 minutes so far. We got 23 people in the building. Let me check how many likes we got in the building right now. We got 21 likes. We got 23 people. Let's get it up to 23 likes, y'all. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. So let's bring back. Let me share the screen again. Let's go on Twitter. Let's go check out what Michael Benson talking about. You know what I mean? I get a lot of my information from him. You know what I mean? He's one of the most consistent reporters out here. You feel what I mean? So let's go off of the last post that he had put up 5 hours ago. And, I ain't fucking with it, but it is what it is, man. You know what I mean? So let's see exactly what's going on with Canelo Alvarez. You feel me? So according to Michael Benson, he says, Canelo Alvarez versus William Scull. Purse bids are now scheduled for June 6th as Skull's team has requested immediate purse bids. Fight has been ordered by the IBF as a mandatory defense for the undisputed WBA, WBC, IBF, and WBO super middleweight champion. You feel what I mean? So I remember when the source first came out, you know what I mean? They was talking about how Canelo Alvarez. Hold up, what the fuck happened? All right, cool. So I remember when this first came out, they was talking about how the IBF was gonna mandate Canelo Alvarez to face William Scull. And at first I was like, man, the IBF ain't gonna let that happen, man. They gonna shut the fuck up and just follow Canelo Alvarez's lead. However, it seems like this is going to a purse bid now. It seems like the IBF is standing on their motherfucking business, man. And I ain't even gonna lie to you, bro. I never heard of William Scull. Never, ever. You feel what I mean? So let's take a look at his Boxrec and exactly what he got going on because, for him to be the mandatory, obviously he must be on a good win streak or whatever the situation is. But let's take a look. So let me share the screen for this now. You know what I'm saying? Let's share the screen for this now. Remove. Let's take a look into who William Scull is. And hopefully I'm saying his name right. So William Scull is a Cuban fighter in the super middleweight division who is currently 22-0 with 9 knockouts. You know what I'm saying? He currently resides in Berlin, Germany, but he is from Matanzas, Cuba. Okay. So let's take a look through this man's Boxrec because I literally have no idea who he is. So this is your live reaction to me looking over this man's resume. So obviously he had started as low as 166 pounds. So it's safe to say that this man is a career super middleweight. So 2-3, 2-1, 0-3, 4-5, 3-6, which is pretty normal. When you coming up in the ranks, man, you fight a little bums to get your feet wet, and then you start stepping up as you go on. However, it just looks like he's consistently fought guys with trash records. And it looks like a lot of his fights have happened in Argentina, from what I believe. So it looks like they were just building his career up in Argentina. Then he takes a fight in Germany against a 1-27. So how many fights is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So he's 9-0 fighting a 1-27 who didn't win a single bout in his last 6 fights according to Boxrec. Goes on to fight a 24-16. So he's just pretty much going from Argentina to Germany. I'm looking to see if he's ever fought in the U.S. It just looks like he just stood his ass in Germany for the most part. 14-1, that's probably the best record that he's faced so far. 32-18, 12-3, 8-3, 19-3, 16-1. Okay, he fights a 15-0. But by the time he fights this 15-0, he is 18-0. Okay, so that's solid, I guess. You know, that's a step in the right direction. But for the most part, he's consistently fought dudes with either losing records or close to 500 records. 26-25, 23-18. So these are the type of dudes that he has fought within the last year, bro. Within the last year. Then on top of that, these are 6-round bouts, bro. 6-round bouts, 8-round bouts. He's fought a 12-rounder one time. Well, multiple times. He's fought 12-rounders multiple times, but not against anybody significant. You know what I'm saying? I don't see any of these. Like I seen that he's won like the IBO belt, the IBF Latino. Okay, so he won the IBF Latino and ultimately became the mandatory, winning a version of the IBF belt. But for the most part, this dude's resume is absolutely terrible, bro. Absolutely terrible. Shout out to old school 868. You know what I mean? I don't want shit on the dude. He might be a talented individual. I don't know what he's capable of. I never heard of him. I never even heard of people even speaking about him all like that. However, according to Boxrec, he got 4 stars, 19 in the world, number 3 in Cuba. 5'11", 31 years old, so he got a significant height advantage over Canelo Alvarez. This is interesting. With a 40% knockout ratio. So he's not a big puncher at all based off of what I'm seeing, or he just doesn't sit down on his punches at all. So this is who Canelo Alvarez may very well fight. Unless Canelo Alvarez just says, fuck the belt, I'm going to do whatever I want. This is who Canelo Alvarez will be facing next in September. This is the guy who pretty much skipped the line until Edgar Berlanga to, go kick rocks. You feel what I mean? So this is who it is, man. I'm not too enthused with this dude at all. Stop motion. He's not even the best in the world in his own country. You can't make this shit up, people. Trash resume, unproven. It's pretty simple, man. I don't know how the IBF decided to rank this dude number 1 amongst all the other guys who are ranked in the IBF. Let's check the IBF rankings right now. Let's check this out real quick. Let's check out. Let's see all the people that he's above in the IBF rankings, because I can honestly name a few people that's more deserving than William Scull. But let's check it out. Let's check out the weight class. Let's check out the 168-pound division to see who's the IBF super middleweight, like who's a part of the super middleweight rankings. So let's check this out right here. So obviously Canelo Alvarez is the undisputed champion in the super middleweight division. Let's share the screen again. We're just gonna show you guys. We're gonna be transparent with this, and let's really have an honest, objective conversation to see if he's more credible than these dudes. So obviously William Scull is number one coming out of Cuba. He is the number one guy, which is why they're enforcing Canelo Alvarez to fight him, and why this ultimately William Scull team, they're like, yeah, we need this shit immediately. They're not about to miss out on this payday. They hearing about Berlanga might get the opportunity, so they trying to snatch that opportunity from Berlanga and get that paycheck ASAP. You feel what I mean? So Vladimir Shishkin is number two. I heard that name before. Christian Mbili, dude who just signed with Top Rank, pretty sturdy dude. Edgar Berlanga is number four. Diego Pacheco is number five. And obviously he just defeated Jaime Munguia. He's number 8. But for the most part, I can't really name none of these dudes. None of these dudes. I heard of the number 13 dude, Zach Parker, and I heard of McCrory, which is somebody that Edgar Berlanga, I believe, knocked out not too long ago. So I heard of these dudes. I heard of some of these dudes, but for the most part, these are a ranking system. I'm surprised Caleb Plant's not on this ranking system. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I wonder why he's not. I wonder why he's not. Stop Motion said Canelo is on a bum of the month tour for no reason. Yeah, man. And it's sad that, we look, and I'm going to keep saying this, bro. It's sad that a motherfucker like William Scull will get an opportunity against Canelo Alvarez before David Benavidez would. You cannot make this shit up, y'all. We was already bitching about Berlanga jumping the line ahead of Benavidez. You know what I mean? We heard about Jamal Charlo might be possibly getting a fight, what have you. William Scull? Yo, this boxing shit is extremely confusing, bro. So I don't know how the fuck they're gonna sell that fight at all. What happened to Jose Euskadegi? I have no idea. Jose Euskadegi, I haven't heard from him since he lost to Lionel Thompson, to be honest with you. But regardless, that's the list right there, y'all. Y'all cannot make this shit up, man. It is what it is. And if this goes to a purse bid, I mean, I ain't even gonna lie to you, man. Like, I really hope Canelo vacates that IBF belt. Don't nobody want to see this shit. And as businessmen, the people that are a part of PBC and all that, how the fuck are they gonna sell that fight? How the fuck are you gonna be able to sell William Scull that nobody has ever heard before? How are you gonna be able to promote that fight and generate revenue off of it? Because Canelo Alvarez won a bag. You know that he's gonna be on pay-per-view every time. That's just the type dude he is. That's the point that he's at in his career. How the fuck are you gonna be able to sell William Scull versus Canelo Alvarez on pay-per-view? Only way I can really think about, you say he come from a Cuban background, he's undefeated. You can make him look real good, chop up some highlights real quick, and have a stacked undercard. But besides that, Canelo Alvarez cards don't really be too stacked because a lot of the budget that's provided for this card, majority of it goes to him. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I don't know. Real shit. I don't know how they're gonna sell this at all. That's an absolute trash fight. I'm not supporting it at all. I probably won't even watch it at all. I'd rather just chill with my son. You know what I mean? Hopefully I got some boxing shit to attend to. Hopefully I got some fights coming up around that fight time. So I won't even have to think about watching that shit. Because there's no way. I wouldn't even care to do a fucking live fight reaction to it, live fight commentary. Bro, like, it's trash, bro. Equip FC says, yo, Mazuma, who hits harder, Canelo or Triple G? I mean, I can't answer that because I've never been hit by neither one of them. But I think it's safe to say Triple G is the harder puncher. However, Canelo Alvarez is the faster puncher. You know what I mean? They say speed kills. A lot of people say speed is power. You know what I mean? Canelo Alvarez has the faster hands. He's the better combination puncher. But, like, power, like, actual, like, on punches, Triple G definitely has the heavier hands, in my opinion. But there's no way for me to really know because I ain't getting hit by these motherfuckers. So, I mean, I think you would have to ask somebody who fought both of them. So I would ask Daniel Jacobs. I would ask people like that. He should be able to answer that. And most likely he'll say Triple G because Triple G made him hit the canvas. You know what I mean? So there's that. That's a question for Daniel Jacobs to answer. He fought both of them. You know what I mean? Says, I think Canelo got harder hooks and jab, GGG easy. Triple G jab is sensational. I model my jab after Triple G, honestly. You know, I'm not a big fan of Triple G, but his jab was undeniable. When you watch that David Lemieux fight, that jab was sensational. When you watch the Canelo Alvarez fights, his jab always had success. You know what I mean? That's one of Canelo Alvarez's weaknesses. He struggles against a great jab. You know what I'm saying? Triple G definitely got one, but in terms of power, Triple G obviously has the harder hands. This shit is ass, just like Bivol fighting Zanad. I believe that's how you say his name. And Teofimo fighting Claggy. Yeah, bro. This is what, you know, and this is why I say all the time, boxing fans are some of the most disrespected fans in sports, period. You know what I mean? At least like with basketball fans, you know, they get to see the best fight. I mean, the best play the best in the finals. You know, at least in the UFC, you know, like Dana White don't play that shit. He make motherfuckers fight each other or he make them step off the block. You know, all these different sports organizations, man, they are very keen on the best competing against the best. And boxing is like, we're gonna give you this fight. And if you don't like it, don't watch it. This is how boxing, and we're the ones who actually put the money up. We're the reason why these guys are successful. We're the reason why these fighters are able to take care of their families. Meanwhile, they treat us like shit and tell us that if we don't fuck with it, then don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what we're gonna do. If you don't like it, kick rocks. And the reason why they so comfortable with talking to us like that because we get disrespected and we still support. We'll still buy a ticket. We'll still buy a pay-per-view. We'll still watch the fight and add to their viewership. You see what I'm saying? And then they get mad and they give us bullshit fights we don't want, and they get mad that people are streaming it. Bro, that's not the fight that we asked for. So what the fuck you think that we supposed to just shut up and be quiet and just support y'all fights and not have an opinion on the situation? That's not how fans work. Fans have the ultimate say. You know what I'm saying? Fans have the ultimate say. What they say should go because they're the ones who bringing money to the table. Don't they say the customer's always right? We're the customers. You feel me? But, you know, it is what it is, man. I literally heard Leonard Ellaby tell boxing fans, we going to do whatever the fuck we want. We going to fight whoever we want to fight, when we want to fight them. It's going to be on our terms. And if you don't like it, don't watch it. Like, y'all see how that sound? How can y'all talk to the people that's the reason why y'all get into the money like that? But it is what it is, man. That's the current climate that we're in boxing. And with the way that these boxing fans move, you know, these dudes defending drug cheats nowadays. They justifying their favorite fighters, ducking other fighters and shit like that. You know, that's just what we come to in this age, man. Until motherfuckers stand on their word and let their nuts hang, and we just gonna keep getting bullshit like this. Teofimo Lopez is fighting Steve Claggett, an absolute turkey who on some real shit will probably get his ass whooped by some up and coming prospects that I got in my gym if we keeping it 1,000. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Ellaby is a clown. And free Johan Ingram, bro. Johan Ingram, free him. Get him the fuck up out of Mayweather Promotions because them dudes don't know what they doing over there. They terrible promoters. They don't keep their fighters busy. They don't give a fuck about their fighters. And the dude that the company is modeled after rather promote strip clubs and skating rinks and jewelry shops and shit like that. The women that he's messed with, businesses, he supports them more than he supports his own fighters. And this is the sport that made Floyd who he is. This is a sport that helped Floyd create generational wealth. Boxing is the reason why Floyd is at where he's at in life. So you would think that he will give back to the fighters and, you know, keep the boxing sport, giving the sport of boxing growing, keeping the sport of boxing growing and just, you know, give it back to the sport that made him. Nah, He's so egotistical. He's so prideful that, you know, he'll sign some people that he believes is talented and, you know, waste their time. Shout out to Jalil Haggett for getting out of that situation and getting into a better situation. Shout out to Richardson Hitchens, even though I don't fuck with him. He a cornball. Shout out to him for leaving TMT, Mayweather Promotion, whatever you want to call it, and getting in a better situation. You know what I mean? Might fight for a world title at any moment now. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody that has left Floyd and still made something of their careers, because unfortunately there's a lot of fighters that signed with Floyd Mayweather that was never able to bounce back or get their career on the right track. You feel me? So that's just what it is, man. That's my overall take on boxing right now, man. I spoke about Terence Crawford continuing to apply pressure on the PBC. I spoke about Canelo Alvarez fighting an unworthy opponent and William Scull possibly next, because it's going to a purse bid. Hopefully that fight does not happen at all, because William Scull does not deserve it, to be honest with you, and that's not a fight that we want to see as boxing fans right now. Canelo Alvarez says how all these fighters want to fight him and they need to fight each other. I think that applies to William Scull. Why don't he fight Jaime Munguia? Why he don't fight Caleb Plant? Why he don't fight some like Diego Pacheco? Like, why don't he fight these other dudes so he could prove himself? You know, David Benavidez, who's a 2-time world champion, has to prove himself. Meanwhile, William Scull, who's never fought a credible dude in his entire career, doesn't have to prove himself in order to fight Canelo Alvarez. You can't make this shit up. And this ain't even Canelo Alvarez's fault, because this is a purse bid. This is the IBF. You know, it is what it is type shit. But, you know, that's what's going on in boxing right now. So, you know, that's all I really got to say for the day, man. I appreciate everybody that came through and supported the live. If y'all appreciate the content, if you appreciate the good conversation, the information that's being brought to the table, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. You know what I mean? Share the video if possible if you support the brand. Shout out to the nation and the mob. We on the road to 3K, man. We well into the 2K mark. Shout out to the nation and the mob for making this possible. I got a long day ahead of me tomorrow. Definitely got to catch up on some Z's and shit like that, man. But until then, this was Zuma TV. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'm out of here, man. Peace.